Suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat. High frequency.
Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawud from GMS Tampa Bay 07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. All right, we're going to jump into this here lesson, dealing with basically Donald Trump and his Space Force, all right? Been trying to put this here video out for last couple days, but, you know, Satan with his interruption, so we're going to try it again today, all right? But as you've seen in the opening video, you know, Ronald Reagan was speaking on the, what they call the Star Wars program. And we're going to start with this here. Salaki, give me 1 second. All right, I'm not quite sure why we keep getting those pop-ups, but nevertheless, as you saw in the beginning, you know, Ronald Reagan was speaking on this so-called Star Wars program, you know, and Donald Trump is also pushing for the same thing, you know. And, you know, if you looked into like Esau's military and his technology and stuff like that, you know, this thing that Donald Trump is talking about is already there, you know. They have multiple stories. They have the story they want you to know, and then they have the story that what it really is, you know. So you go back in time to World War II, okay, with Germany, what they was producing over there, you know. If you understand about Project Paperclip, you know, they took the top scientists from over there that developed the V1 and V2 rocket, Wernher von Braun, brought those guys over to America, and they formed an organization, or basically like an organization. They called it NASA, okay. It wasn't for space exploration or nothing like that. It was basically for what we're going to get into in this lesson, all right. These Edomites, they know who they are, and they know who we are, and they know that Yahushua is coming back, all right. They know what these UFOs are, you know. America was the only country that didn't disclose information on UFOs. They would always tell you it was a farce or weather balloon. They would make up some kind of story over it, you know. But now, you know, in this last year, you've been noticing that America's been releasing information on that. You know, they've been openly talking about it, you know. So, you know, we getting into these times where everything is apparent and clear, you know. The scriptures say, you know, blessed is he that readeth and watch ye therefore, you know. Watch for these here signs to come. You know, so we're going to get into this here article, and then we're going to jump into some of the scriptures that's showing exactly what's going on. All right. And what's going on is these Edomites is preparing to fight Yahushua. All right. And if they're preparing, like I said, I showed you that video in the opening of Ronald Reagan. That was back in the 80s. All right. That was when they had first brought it out to the public. That's what they was doing. All right. And if you go back and watch that video and other things on it, you would understand that they already have this system in place. All right. This is part of the HARP program, part of what they're doing with chemtrails as well. Okay. They use these things for multiple different reasons. And if you put the links together, you'll see that they're creating basically a defense system to fight Yahushua. Okay. When Yahushua returned with the angels. All right. And so this is why they have the International Space Station and all these different things and stuff like that. All right. So nevertheless, and also while they're advancing in all these weapons and all these types of things, because really, if the showdown was between America and Russia, that was just it. You know, they had already had the technology to basically have that war. You know, that was, you could have did it with atomic warfare, but now they got thermonuclear warfare, you know? So, I mean, that's pretty much all they actually needed. So why is Esau developing DARPA robots? Why are they developing laser beams and lasers and stuff like that? Why are they developing, like, as if you do your deep research about the weapons that they have in outer space already, they already have weapons in outer space, you know? I forgot, there was a movie where they showed, this thing that they call the Hand of God, you know, which is basically a big kinetic energy weapon. You know, it's basically like them shooting a giant telephone pole from outer space, you know, with the propulsion of that being launched and then the gravity of it pulling it down. You know, it's pretty much like a nuclear missile coming down, you know. But nevertheless, you know, just dipping into some of their technology that they've been had, you know, just to let you know that this stuff that Donald Trump is so-called just now creating, like he got some new idea and he's, oh, this is some new shit we finna do. No, this is some old shit, you know. It's real old shit. And all they doing is conditioning the people to accept what's about to happen. All right. Because they can't keep covering up these chariots, you know, they can't keep covering up all this stuff, you know, and plus with us flooding the internet waves with our videos and and speaking on the chariots and telling the world what's about to happen, Esau has to do damage control. All right. So when with more and more of these so-called UFO videos and all these types of things out there, people are so-called questioning and concerning, and the government can't cover it up no more. You know, more and more of these things sightings are happening. All right. And also their missiles and stuff like that is getting tampered with and all kind of different things. So, you know, they have to up their game, you know, and this is the reason they need such highly advanced weaponry. Like I said, they could fight with Russia with atomic weapons, let alone nuclear weapons, you know. This is the reasons that they need these, basically these weapons in outer space to so-called shoot outward at the chariots coming in. All right. And that's scriptural. All right. We're going to get into the actual showdown. All right. This is, it's RT News. This was a couple days ago, June 18th, 2018. The year of prophecy. It says, make it so. Trump orders creation of U.S. Space Force's military branch. U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered the Pentagon to begin establishing a Space Force as the sixth branch of the U.S. military. Creators of Star Wars, Star Trek, and Starship Trooper memes rejoiced. Okay. And so as I'm telling you that the whole deal with this is going on, and all they're doing is conditioning you to accept what's about to happen. All right. Just like if these shows, like they said, Star Wars, Star Trek, and Starship Troopers and any other shows along those lines never came out, you would be, how do I say, you would be like, this would be some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? When you see it for the first time, just like the movie, just think about this, right? You know, we hear about, dinosaurs and things like that. You know, we have an idea of pictures and stuff like movies from Jurassic Park. That's not so far fetched, even though we don't normally see dinosaurs walking around today, you know, but we're accustomed to that from what we learn in school and so on and so forth. So when you see a movie like Jurassic Park, it's not that big of a deal, you know, but in this scenario, you know, you have, well, another scenario. So like I'm saying with the dinosaurs. So what's the purpose of them making a movie like Godzilla? Okay. Cause Godzilla is not really a dinosaur. All right. That's something completely different, right? What are they conditioning your mind for? They keep remaking that movie over and over and over and over again. All right. If you go back and look up how old Godzilla is, they keep remaking the same movie and they keep coming back and destroying these Edomites, and then the Edomites try to kill it and so on and so forth. But they don't prevail, you know? Why do they keep conditioning you to understand that? Because when you see Leviathan come up out the water, they don't want you to be super shook. They want their soldiers and everybody to be on point. Be like, yo, all right, I guess it's Godzilla real, then we just finna take it out. You know, we already accustomed to seeing this in our mind, you know? Same with this here, with the Star Wars, Star Trek, and Starship Troopers, you know? This is more or less, conditioning the soldiers and stuff, you know what I'm saying, to not think this is so far-fetched once they be faced with it for real, you know? Because what do? They condition you to believe that aliens and UFOs and stuff like that, so they call it, aren't real, you know? But then when you have to be faced with it, you know, you might bug the fuck out. Like, oh, what the fuck am I into right now? Wait, am I on drugs or something? Like, what the fuck? I see an alien and these shits ain't real, you know? You be bugging the fuck out. So they have to condition you to slowly, how do they say, slowly, feed you to understand this. Okay. So this is the whole purpose of this here, space program and all this stuff being announced again, you know what I'm saying, in modern times. All right. They're fully prepared to fight Yahushua. All right. So what do you need to be fully prepared to do? All right. This, you know, this part here is going out for those Akim or the sincere watchers that's watching our videos. That's not in the camp, or that's not on this side, you know, hey, look, listen, you know, when you watch our videos, we dead serious about this. You know, we know what time it is. We, you know, not to say we prepared for this, you know, because we preparing ourselves daily, you know, that's why, you know, we have to, we just you know, continuously keep, you know, trying to, how do I say, basically stack up your riches in heaven, more or less to say, invest in spiritual, investments, more or less to say, you know, so we constantly investing into spiritual investments at this point in time. So that's how serious we are, you know, and now you see how serious Esau is, you know, he's like, all right, I done trained you up to believe that aliens and shit was fake, right? But now we gonna tell you motherfuckers aliens is real. Not only that, all right? So think about this. Think about the characteristics of Esau, okay? Now, Esau is a very greedy bastard. This motherfucker love money like crazy, right? Esau not gonna spend no money on no bullshit that either like take a simple simple low-level Edomite, right? This Edomite go and buy him a house, and, you know, he dropped the blueprints, and the shit's you know, a half a square foot off, you know, he's like, I ain't paying for that, you know. He buy a car and be like, oh, what's this little small square? I ain't paying for that, you know. Esau's like that, you know, so he's not gonna pay for no tainted shit or no fucked up shit or invest into some fake ass shit, you know. You wouldn't see Esau like, all right, we're gonna invest $100 billion on creating Pokeballs so we can catch some Pokemon. Okay, Esau, he not like Jake to do no dumb shit like that, you know. Jake will sit there and buy some $200 damn pair of shoes and don't even got no car. That's what Jake do. But Esau not gonna do no shit like that, all right? He very wise in what he invests his money in. You see these so-called rich Edomites like Bill Gates. You don't see Bill Gates walking around with thick-ass gold chains, riding around in big-ass cars with rims and shit, balling out, even though he's super rich, you know? He's investing in the shit that isn't, not to say important to him, but he know that he's serious about, like, yo, this shit gonna make me some money. This shit is what I'm really about, you know? That type of shit. He not just throwing no money away, all right? And so keeping that in mind, why is Esau twice, you know, not even twice, he's done this shit way more than twice, okay? It's just not really in the open domain of information that Esau has been slowly but steadily putting up basically his military up in outer space, all right? But nevertheless, you know, why would Esau be spending this type of money up there, all right? Now, the story that they want you to believe, okay, is that we are in a stalemate between Russia, you know, because, okay, they got thermonuclear weapons, we got thermonuclear weapons. And if we was to launch them bitches, we would have mutually assured destruction. Mad, you know, but really Russia would come out on top on that, even if they all died with their dead hand system. You know, that's something else to look up, the dead hand system. But nevertheless, you know, and you have to also think about this, you know, logistics and strategy and planning. All right. So Esau, first of all, these American, we'll call it this way because they both Edomites. Okay. Now, the thing they want you to believe is America versus Russia, which that's scriptural. You know, Russia is going to wax that ass over here, you know, but in the media or whatever, they want you to believe that, again, you got the two superpowers, America versus Russia, right? Now, if these two countries wanted to go to war, okay, now let's say America decided to invade Russia, okay, or vice versa. So let's just say America decided to invade Russia. They would have to take, America really has NATO and all them, so they got a lot of the equipment already over there. But hypothetically, let's just say they didn't, all right? Or let's just say Russia, because Russia's not spread out like that. If Russia wanted to invade America, okay, now you have to think like logistics and planning, okay, like a military motherfucking leader, right? You think about how many tanks and shit. Now, America got way more shit than Russia do as far as tanks, planes, battleships, all that shit. America got way more equipment than anybody. But nevertheless, if Russia wanted to bring all their equipment over here to America to invade, you know what I'm saying? We want to have a full scale war. So we're going to need all our tanks. We're going to need all our Humvees, our Jeeps, our missile launchers, our planes, you know, our big planes, small planes, fighter jets. We're going to need all that shit, all our helicopters. We're going to need all this shit to bring over to America. Not only that, we're going to need all of our troops and move them all over here. Not only that, we're going to have to bring a bunch of fuel to refuel our equipment. Not only that, we're going to have to bring a bunch of food and water to feed our soldiers. You see what I'm saying? So, and all of this is going to cost a huge amount of money in logistics and planning and shipping all of this stuff from one country to another country just to invade. So that's a very costly price. You know, it's very expensive to do all of that, you know, but so that's one problem, you know, America versus Russia. They got to take all this equipment over to the other side, you know, very expensive. Now, think about how much more. Now, that's like the easiest way of doing it, you know, just bringing all your shit over. Or what America did was surround Russia and make their allies surround Russia so that they already have all the equipment there, you know. But nevertheless, if they wanted to move all this shit, it would be very costly, but it's doable, all right? Think about how much more it will cost to take all that same equipment from both countries and fly all that shit into outer space just to have your war up there, okay? That don't make no sense because they don't have 100% sure shot way to get into orbit in outer space because their launches aren't always that successful. Especially now, they can get little small ass satellites up there relatively easy, but once you get something a little bit bigger, like you trying to take a space shuttle up there with astronauts and shit, that's just not that easy to make it up there. You know, they don't have a 100% shot every time. You know, so in the midst of them trying to take into outer space a bunch of fucking tanks, a bunch of planes, this is a fucked up story anyway, but I'm just showing you how unrealistic this shit is, you know, for America and Russia to fight each other in outer space, because the cost of it is just way too much, you know, and just trying to keep all that shit in outer space is just pointless. Okay. For America to fight Russia. This is not what the hell they doing. All right. America and Russia, this is the story they're going to push so they can start moving this shit more and more, this shit up there to prepare it so people will be, used to it, you know, more or less to say, but nevertheless, they're preparing to fight Yahushua and the angels. This is the real reason they're moving all this shit up there. They're going to just use the guys of Russia. All right. It says, there's no place like space, Trump said on Monday, addressing the National Space Council in Washington. He announced a number of initiatives, including a push to establish a permanent presence on the moon with the eye to a manned Mars mission. But the biggest one was the creation of a new military branch to operate in which the president termed Forbidden Skies. Okay. I'm going to skip that paragraph. It is not enough to have American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. Okay. Now, who are you trying to dominate in space? Like, how do I put this? Like, if you want to be a king, right? No, like, one of the things you need to do in order to be a king, like, okay, what's a king with no servants? It's just a nigga that's bugged the fuck out, you know? So a king gonna need servants. He gonna need people under them. All right. So if America want dominance in outer space, who the fuck else is in outer space like that? You know, these other countries are out there, but they not really doing nothing like what America is speaking on. They got these satellites out there for like GPS and shit like that. You know, ain't nobody really out there like that, you know, and ain't nobody been out to outer space like that in a long ass time, you know. I don't even think they actually been through the Van Allen radiation belt, but nevertheless, you know, that's a little different. Whether or not you out in the upper atmosphere in the orbit, which is not necessarily outer space, you just in orbit where the satellites are, all right, or, you know, but that's a different topic, you know, as far as how far they went out into space. But nevertheless, why do you say you want American dominance in space? Who the fuck are you gonna be dominating outer space? You know, who you gonna try to put in subjection? All right, they're trying to fight with Yahushua. Okay, now if you read between the lines and some of this stuff, it's pretty clear what the hell their plan is. All right, it says Trump declared calling it a matter of national security. Now, the definition of national security is not them securing the nation from border to border to make sure our basically the landmass here is secure. No, national security is basically to secure that America is the king over everybody else, more or less to say they got dominance over everybody else. All right. And now what is Yahushua's plan when he come back onto earth? It's to set up his kingdom. And if he set up, he can't have his kingdom ruling while there's another dominant kingdom on the planet earth. So he's going to come and take the crowns off these kings' heads. But Trump is like, nah, hell nah. We need to maintain national security because we love ruling. We the damn devil. We love everybody up under us. All right. And so this is what it is now, you know? So beforehand, you know, you would have America tripping on ISIS, the terrorists. They didn't escalate it to Russia, North Korea, Iran. Slowly but surely, you're going to start seeing more and more news stories about, yeah, we got to get into outer space. Until you're going to hear a story like, yeah, we think it's some aliens out there now and some shit is approaching and we're going to have to fuck this shit up. You know, this is where these news stories is going. So, you know, this is just more or less like one of the first ones, but they slowly preparing you for this. All right. It's like boiling a frog. All right. That they're saying about boiling a frog. You can't just throw a frog into a boiling pot of water. He's going to just jump out. But if you put him in the water and you slowly turn up the heat on his ass, he's going to keep adjusting his body temperature until basically the nigga is boiled and he don't even realize that it's too fucking hot, you know? But nevertheless, you know, as the analogy, this is how they turn up on you, you know, with any and every damn thing. They got you in this police state. They didn't just give it to you one day you living a normal life. The next day you got a police state. Nah, it's been over 17 years now. They've been slowly getting you to the state, where you at now. You see what I'm saying? So this is how these news stories are about to start coming out before it's all revealed that they're about to fight Yahushua. All right. So it says, to that end has Director General Joseph Dunford, Chairman of Joint Chief of Staff, to begin preparations for making the Space Force a separate but equal branch of the military alongside the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and the Coast Guard. All right. Oh, well, here it is. Others objected to the Space Force as too expensive and argued that space should be left to scientists. Exactly. So it's too fucking expensive. Like I was saying, if you want to make a permanent base up there, like, bro, you got to move all that equipment up there, and then you got to hope that you can shoot this motherfucking let's say you got $1 billion whatever that you trying to take into outer space. You just better hope that bitch get into outer space before, that it don't crash on the way up there. So now you done lost $1 billion aircraft to get up there, plus $1 billion satellite. Then you're gonna try this shit again. You know what I'm saying? It's really a waste of money. You know what I'm saying? This is there's another paragraph I wanted to read. It says down here, right here. All right, so up here is basically saying even if Pentagon proceeds to implement Trump's directive at hyperspeed, there are two obstacles to make it so. Okay, and one is legal. The Outer Space Treaty, which the U.S. has been part since 1967, bans states from testing any weapons in outer space or establishing military bases on the moon or other celestial bodies. It also prohibits deployment of any weapons of mass destruction in Earth's orbit. Okay, so again, reading between the lines, Earth's orbit. This is where these damn satellites are. They're not really in like what you would think of as outer space. Okay, for one. Two, it says the Outer Space Treaty, which the U.S. has been part since 1967, bans states from testing any weapons in outer space or establishing military bases on the moon or other celestial bodies. All right, but jumping down, so Esau basically has these treaties up there. All right, or treaties concerning that area up there. All right, it says the U.S. has unilaterally withdrawn from treaties before. Okay, so talk about Esau and his broken treaties. I believe that's in the book of Isaiah. All you goddamn broken treaties. The same what you did with these so-called Native Americans over here. All right, and all these other countries. Like the Iran deal. It's the same shit that's in this man's spirit. He keep doing the same shit over and over and over again. That's why we call him the devil. He's the deceiver. He'll sit here and be like, oh yeah, we're going to sign this here paper to have a peace treaty between me and you because we don't want no more killing. We didn't had enough. And you signed the peace treaty. And then now this motherfucker is like, all right, you stop killing us. You stop killing the Edomites. Now the Edomites are still killing your ass, but we don't know what the fuck happened. Breaking all your damn treaties. All right. It says, the U.S. has unilaterally withdrawn from treaties before. However, Trump could channel Emperor Palpatine and declare, I will make it legal. Basically saying like, look, we don't give a fuck about no laws, no rules, bitch. We'll do whatever we want to do because we the damn devil. And who gonna say something? Y'all all in subjection to me anyway, motherfucker. Like, and on top of that, the only thing that can save you, the only thing that can save the whole damn earth through the Israelites, okay? The Israelites being saved through Yahushua is Yahushua coming back. And what the fuck you think they doing? They're like, oh hell no, we know Yahushua coming back to get his people because of what we done did. We gonna have to fight his ass because we like staying on top. We like being a damn devil. And we want to get our goddamn how do they say, our enterprise established. They New World Order. These motherfuckers want to get everybody in the robots and transfer souls and shit into this shit and download your shit into this, basically to the Matrix, more or less, to make you cyborgs and shit, so they can kill off all the damn Jakes and it'll just be these wicked ass Edomites, all right? And they can keep reproducing, basically cut themselves off from the Lord's way of being, like, well, we can make everything artificial. We don't really need you and the things that you'd have made, we don't need these human bodies no more. We could just make robots and we'll be good, But none of that shit's gonna ever happen, like the scriptures say when he's about to fill his belly, and the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Okay, it says the more immediate problem, however, is that the Space Force has no ships. The U.S. Space Shuttle program was shut down in 2011. Since then, the only way American astronauts was to get into space was aboard the Russian I can't pronounce that, Soyuz MS spacecraft. Even if Russia was somehow inclined to offer transportation services to a branch of the U.S. military, U.S. laws prohibits any military cooperation with Moscow. All right. So another gem in the rough. U.S. laws prohibit any military cooperation with Moscow. But wait a minute, when y'all was over in Syria, wasn't y'all coordinating with Russia on y'all airstrikes? And if you want to have a peace deal with Russia, how the fuck y'all can't talk? Y'all can't even talk it out because the U.S. laws prohibit that. So you don't want peace with them. You want to dominate everybody. All right. That leaves Trump with another seditious solution. Now this is what they're gonna try and tell you. They tell you between the lines what the hell's going on. It says that leaves Trump another seditious solution to have the Space Force initially composed of droids and drones. Now, why the fuck would I sit here and invest all this money on a bunch of droids, which is like an android, like a fucking robot that you program, all right? or a drone, which is a robot that you control. All right. Why would I spend all this damn money on drones and droids and send these bitches up into space initially to be the first wave of these motherfuckers to take over? And then now I ain't got to pay an android. I ain't got to feed an android. You know what I'm saying? And the drones, I mean, if, you know, it's just a drone, you know what I'm saying? But why would I go from having that shit to having to pay human beings to go do the shit, you know? That human beings that get tired, that get sick, that get injured, that all type of shit. And you got to pay these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? So, and they can't really be in outer space for too long. You see what I'm saying? So it's just way easier to have these robots. Again, what the hell do you think that this shit is for? Esau got robots that create robots. He just got factories of these shits. He got unlimited soldiers, you know? It says, as U.S. president often says, let's see what happens. All right. So these damn Edomites is super proud, man. Oh, man. I think I messed up here. Hold on. All right, we're going to jump into the scriptures here. Read a couple scripts here. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 13. Speaking of basically these Edomites, these, what they call the beast, you know, NATO, the EU, and America. Basically these Edomites, you know. It says, now, you know, you go up, it says, the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom of yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay, and that's why you see the creation of NATO and the EU. Okay, instead of being basically sovereign, their own people, they made a conglomeration to be a part of their own superpower pack. All right. Now, speaking of these damn Edomites, it says, verse 14, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called chosen and faithful. Okay, so these are gonna try to make war with the Lamb. Yeah, so those gonna try to make war with the Lamb. All right, and but the Lamb's gonna overcome them. All right, so we're gonna get into that whole actual fight, because that whole fight is broken down in the scriptures, which you see them preparing for that. All right, NATO and the EU and America and their allies, they've already given their power over to the beast. They all have one thing in mind. Now they're preparing to make war with the Lamb. As you see, Donald Trump is speaking on this. Ronald Reagan spoke about this. All right. This is Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against, and the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. Neither was their place any more found in heaven. Okay. So, this is speaking on which is coming. What we talking about, what Trump and them is talking about, hey, listen, Ronald Reagan. Well, you know, how little our differences would be if we had some kind of outside alien threat force. This is what it's talking about, all right? It ain't no far-fetched, nothing crazy like that. These motherfuckers is serious about fighting with the Lord, all right? Like, and it's only, man, that's fucking the evidence right there that this motherfucker is the devil, all right? Let me read verse 9. That great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, all right? Only the devil would try to fight the Lord, you know? In a time and a place where everybody need fixing and healing and everything all fucked up, you know, the one person that could come and fix every damn thing, the damn devil wants, but nah, we gonna fight him. We love living in this condition right here. We love this shit. Like, but the whole world is crying out. The planet Earth itself is crying out. The trees, the animals, the water, the skies, everything is crying out. All right. But yet Esau loves this shit. All right. But the whole world is, hey man, you know what I'm saying? We trying to get up out of this shit, but only the devil would do some shit like this. All right. From there, we're going to go. Let me actually grab this too. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. Okay, so again, it's going to be a time like never before. We're going to already have war going on and race wars, all kind of shit, concentration camps, all kind of crazy shit going on. Then for the ones that don't understand and know all this, they're going to so-called get invaded by aliens. They're going to see a fucking alien invasion and shit. All right. They're going to be bugging the fuck out. And then they're going to see their so-called military fighting this shit. They're going to be scared as fuck. Then they're going to see they military not prevail against this. You know, it's going to be a time like never before. But who going to be delivered? The ones that was written in the book, according to this scripture, but who is written in the book? You go to Revelation 7, 144,000 out of the 12 tribes, plus that great multitude. All right. From here, we're going to jump into the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 4. It says, start at verse 3, Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Okay, these Caucasians, cave dwellers. You live up in the goddamn, you came from the Caucasus Mountains. All right, these Edomites, so-called white people. It says, whose habitation is high. All right, not only do you like living in skyscrapers, but your habitation is high as far as you so-called high and mighty. You look down on everybody else. If there's anybody else that's living so-called higher than you at a better status than you, you got to bring them down. You don't like to see you like goddamn Jake, man. You don't want to see not only any of your brothers doing better than you. You don't want to see nobody else doing better than you. All right. It says, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's exactly what Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan and the rest of these Edomites are saying. It's like, look, bruh, we about to get everybody microchip. We got cyborgs. We got drones. We got androids. We got synthetics. We got clones. We got all this shit now. You know what I'm saying? And we know how to transfer your consciousness according to Barack Obama's Brain Initiative program, which he so-called cloaked that in the fight on Alzheimer's. But nevertheless, just to show you that these Edomites have got this shit planned, all right? They signed that already in the law about that microchip in your brain. Barack Obama did it 2010, all right? Look it up. Barack Obama's Brain Initiative program, all right? And they said which should be underway in 2017, which we in 2018 now. So, and you start to see all these people getting chipped already, all right? Says, who shall bring me down to the ground? But nevertheless, like I was saying, this is what Donald Trump and them are saying right now. I'm like, yeah, fuck that, man. We got this shit rolling right now. You know what I'm saying? And Yahushua want to come back and take us down? Fuck that. Who gonna bring us down? We done already put the whole planet in a subjection. The fuck is wrong with you, man? Who gonna bring us down? We the Edomites. You see what I'm saying? We God. You know what I'm saying? Who said it in his heart, I am God. I shall be like the Most High. All right? But it says, who saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? All right. That's that proud of him. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee. Talking about who shall bring me down to the ground. Yeah. Yahushua finna bring your ass down. That's who. All right. Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Okay. Now an eagle is a bird of prey. He sits up. First of all, he uses as his symbol. All right. Look on the back of your dollar bill. Go back to the Grecian Empire. Hitler and them all throughout time, they use the eagle as their damn symbol. But not only that, the eagle is a bird of prey. Like the lion is the king of the jungle, the eagle is like the king of the air. All right, he fly up super high up in the air, and homeboy got extremely good eyesight. Homeboy can see a goddamn small field mouse, I believe, from like 2 miles up, and swoop down and get it with pinpoint accuracy. All right, that's a small ass little mouse from way up high. All right. But he swooped down. That's the same way with Esau. He see your ass, catch your ass, and any other. Hey, Esau find out any and every damn thing. You be the killed some motherfucker off in the woods where nobody else is around. You be out in the desert. Nobody else is around. You kill a motherfucker out there. Esau know the whole shebang. He be like, well, you had just ate some checkers. You had ate this and got that. And you know what I'm saying? You had burped right before you pulled the trigger. Like, how the fuck you know this shit? You wasn't even around. Like, man, we got our ways. Esau is like that bird of prey, man. He looking down. And also, when he see whatever he want, that food, he swoop down with his talons, those strong talons, and he get what he want. And you can't deliver yourself up out of his claws, all right? It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Okay? So, yeah, he gonna set his nest up against the stars, his little house, and where he gonna hunt and see from and everything like that. Okay? When we put his weaponry at up there in outer space, all right? So, it's clear as day. Look. We done read about how Esau is going to try to fight, Michael and his angels fought against the devil and his angels, we already read about how they're going to fight. Now you see Esau has set his nest amongst the stars, up in the heavens, up in space. Okay. How do you see that today? The International Space Station. All right. Also, Ronald Reagan's Star Wars program. Donald Trump's talking about this shit right here, right now, today. You see what I'm saying? Let me grab, we got that already. Okay, let me grab this other scripture. I want to grab Second Ezra. Now this here is what we're about to read here is basically how the fight gonna go down. It's gonna be the end. Like back in the days when before like television was real big. They had a boxing match. And you people used to listen to the radio. Ali threw a left, a right, a jab. He's on the ropes. This is that. They're telling you what the fight is so you can visualize it by step by step. They give you play by play the whole shebang, you know? And so this is basically the same shit here over, instead of a boxing match, over the match we just read about Michael and his angels and the devil and his angels. All right. This is how it's going to go down right here. All right. And if you want a visual of this, read this and watch, the first Independence Day movie, because this is the script for that movie. All right. This is where they get that shit from. All right. Especially we're going to read the scene, where they're on the, when they up on that tall ass skyscraper, when you first see the chariots come in and the chariot open up for the first time, that blue beam come down, and they on that tall ass skyscraper with the signs and shit. Right. This is what we're about to read here. All right. This second Ezra chapter 13, which is a part of the Apocrypha. Okay. It's second Ezra chapter 13 verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heavens. Okay, now that man is going to break itself down. All right. He's going to ask, what the hell does this mean? And it's going to break it down. But I mean, I'll kind of break some of this down as we go along, but then I'll read the breakdown as well. All right. So that man that waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. First of all, that man is Yahushua coming back. Waxed strong with the thousands of heavens. That's the angels coming back in those chariots. This is why you start to see all these damn UFOs and all these shits coming in nowadays. And it's all over the internet, man. It's just huge. Man, I'm just look on the internet of UFO sightings, orbs, strange lights. Okay. And then if you don't believe that's what it is, YouTube that shit and go read Ezekiel, I believe chapter 1. It's the same shit. They tell you the lights, the colors and all that. It's the same thing. How they don't really make a sound. They don't turn where they go. When you, like, if you was the police and you got a description of so-and-so, like, all right, black male, 5'5", so on and so forth, wearing this kind of shirt, that kind of shirt. That's what you're looking for. All right. And that's exactly what, you know, when you read that, that's exactly what you're seeing on those videos. If you look up, you know, UFO sightings. All right. So it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heavens. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. All right. So not only, you know, okay, these big ass ships coming through, right? Wherever these ships is going over, you know, everything is starting to, how do you say, tremble and shake? You know what I'm saying? Because these big ass ships is coming through. All right. It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. All right. Now the visual of that scene is what is that movie with what's that boy named Tom Cruise? Right. There's a movie, I think it's called War of the Worlds, where it's like Tom Cruise and shit. And he got 2 kids and like he got a little girl and a teenage boy, and the parents are divorced or whatever, whatnot. The kids go to stay over at the dad's house, Tom Cruise's house, and they always on some bum shit, right? One day these damn there's like a lightning storm or whatever, and then these chariots come down, right? But then basically there was when these things come up out of the ground and start walking around, there was this big ass loud trumpet for one. Then they came up, you know, and then you start seeing these things walk around. They made this weird ass sound. Then they was just going around zapping motherfuckers, and then like the clothes would still be there, but the people would just be instantly turned to dust, you know? So that's basically, you know, he was seeing these big ass chariots coming through, and it was just like zapping shit, blowing shit up. And this part where we're reading is more or less just the land and shit was getting fucked up. All right. Verse 5. And after this, I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men from the 4 winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right. And this multitude of men that came to subdue him that came out of the sea is these nations, these militaries, these nations. Again, scripture is telling you that they preparing to fight the Lord. All right. It's going to get further into detail. It says, verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. Okay. And I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Okay. So more or less to say, like, hey man, all right. So the very first scene in Independence Day, when you first see the very first chariot, and you see the smoke and the clouds and shit like that, and all of a sudden this big ass chariot come out of nowhere, or out of the clouds and the smoke, you know. And if you standing there, you look up and you see this shit from one side of the sky to the other side of the sky, this shit take up the whole sky, you know? You be like, damn, does this shit, you know, spread over the whole earth? Like, I can't even see the end of the sky, you know? It says, and basically what it's speaking on again is that same big ass ship, you know? When Will Smith and them first see that ship and everything, they go to fight it, they think it's one ship, you know? Then that ship opened up and there's a bunch of ships inside of it. That's that huge ass ship, you know? It says, verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. All right. Now, when you see in Independence Day, when they first come in first contact with that chariot, you know, they're a little scared, but then Will Smith give them a little pep rally talk, you know, and then they just go in on it, you know. And so, you know, that's you know, the visualization of what's going on. But in real time, okay, again, with America conditioning you that aliens and shit like that ain't real and UFOs ain't real, if all of a sudden you seen this, all of a sudden you would be afraid. You would know what the fuck to do. And of course, they're not going to tell you it's the Lord and the angels and the chariots, because you might have some believers in those militaries. They're like, the hell no, we ain't fighting the Lord. What the hell's wrong with you? All right. But the Lord is going to have it put on their minds that anybody in the military at this point in time, you're not coming back. All right. You're going to be that great sacrifice. All right. But it says, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Okay. But, hang on one second. I think, there was somewhere else. It might be somewhere else in the scripture where he was saying that basically at this point in time, you're going to have these men, they're going to be fighting each other. All right. But then when Yahushua return, they're going to stop fighting each other, and then they're going to turn to fight Yahushua. Okay. That's basically like what they were saying here. It says, in verse 8, you know, and that's exactly word for word what Ronald Reagan said. He'd be like, you know, if we ever had some kind of outside threat or something like that, we would put our little small differences aside to basically band together to fight that outside threat, you know? So it says, verse 8 again, after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, he saw the violence of the multitude that came. He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only saw that he sent out of his mouth. Okay, so what we're about to read here from 10 and 11, all right, to give you the visualization of this. This is the scene in Independence Day where they're standing on top of the tall skyscraper, and ships hadn't opened up yet. You got that one chick with the sign. I forgot what the hell they sign said, welcome to Earth or some shit like that. You got the chick up there on top of the building. They want to see this shit, all right? And then the shit open up, and then you see this laser beam come out, this blue light at first, all right? This is where they get that scene from right here. All right, this is verse 10, 2nd Ezra 13 and 10. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. And they were, now, this isn't actually coming out of somebody's mouth. This is coming out of the mouth of this ship that is being spoken about, this big ass graven mountain. All right. So again, out of the mouth, like I said, when you wanted the visualization, that's that chariot in that movie where the bottom of it was opening up, and out of his mouth came out these things. All right. Now what they doing is, all right. So what is a laser beam? All right. It's concentrated heat into one little point. All right. And so that's why I said, out of his mouth he sent a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue cast out sparks and tempest. All right. So basically a high concentrated laser beam. All right. It says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude that was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so he burned them all up, you know? So when you looking at the World of Worlds, that movie with Tom Cruise and stuff like that, and the one boy's like, I gotta go in the military, this and that, he wanna go fight, and he climb across that hill, and all he's seeing is basically the American military getting annihilated over there by those chariots, you know? And the same as in Independence Day, you know? Now, Independence Day is a little different because, you know, Esau liked to make himself be the hero and stuff like that. But the humans, more or less, they're not going to prevail. All right. That's what we're reading here. So that movie's a little bit off. All right. It says, and same with the other movie, because you ain't going to kill these chariots with no goddamn common cold or some shit like that. All right. It says, verse 11. It says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude that was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden and innumerable multitude. Okay, so this is that blue beam coming down and zapping these motherfuckers, or in that other movie, War of the Worlds, where they getting zapped and their clothes is just still there, but they getting just turned to powder. All right, this is where they get it from. It says so that and everyone was burned up, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude. So you couldn't even number this multitude. All the armies, all the military, all the soldiers, all together with this draft and everything. They're gonna have the biggest shit they got going. All right, all of them, all in a sudden of an innumerable multitude. Nothing was to be perceived. Meaning, yo, I seen a huge crowd of motherfuckers over there, but then all of a sudden, they wasn't there no more. All right, the only thing that was left, like I said, when you watch that movie Independence Day, they on that building. They was all crowd of people on top of the building, you know, which in this day is going to be a big military fight. But, you know, they was on top of that building and that building was there, right? But in an instant, this is what happened. It says, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. And when I saw this, I was afraid. Okay. Just like 9/11, in an instant, all of a sudden, all you seen was dust and smoke. People, concrete, steel, everything turned to powder in just an instant. All right. Same like I said in that movie Independence Day. All right. Read verse 18. Now understand I the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them, to those that are left behind. All right. So basically this is in the latter days. This hadn't happened yet. That's the times we living in now. But nevertheless, going on to the interpretation, verse 25, this is the meaning of the vision, whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea. The same is he whom Yahweh the highest hath kept a great season. Okay, Yahushua, speaking of Yahushua, which by his own self shall deliver his creature. So Yahushua is the Savior. He's going to come and deliver the Israelites, the elect. Okay, and he shall order them that are left behind. And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came a blast of wind, fire, and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. He shall come with the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight. Okay, here it is. This is where I was speaking on. They're gonna be warring, but then they're gonna turn, like Ronald Reagan said, to fight Yahushua. Basically, they're gonna be fighting each other in World War III. All right, but then you're gonna have another war after that. Basically, it's gonna be the end all be all war. All right. So it says, and now when I say there's gonna be another war, it's not gonna be a huge time frame gap in between. This is gonna be in the midst of World War III. Okay, like they said, like we were about to read here, they're gonna be warring with each other. Then these chariots gonna show up. Then they're gonna just basically be like, all right, that's it for World War III. We gotta band together now. There ain't no winner, loser, none of this. We gotta band together before there ain't none of us to be fighting over this shit. You know. It says, verse 31, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another. So the superpowers, basically World War III is what you got going on. And one realm against another. That's the next war. When these chariots and the angels come in, they're going to be fighting. You're going to have a spiritual warfare against the so-called carnal. Like you're going to have Michael and his angels versus the devil and his angels. All right. You got the spirit realm versus Esau and his technology, spiritual power versus man-made technological power. All right. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man descending. All right, still speaking on Yahushua. And when all the people hear his voice, even every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. Again, like I'm saying, this is how World War III ends. There's no real winner of World War III. All right, it's not gonna be no shit like that. Well, Russia is gonna be waxing America. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of all this, making, like I said, the nukes is gonna be the end all be all at the very end. But at the same time, while that's simultaneously going on, you're going to have them fighting against Yahushua, all right? So that's why you read here, it says, and when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle. Leave what battle? World War III. They have against one another. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and overcome him by fighting. These 10 shall make war with the Lamb, but the Lamb shall overcome them. All right. But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion, and Mount Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded like as thou sawest the hill graven without hand. All right. So basically, we're going to be set up, you know, the Israelites going to be, set up. Give me 1 second. Damn, I'm gonna read that too. But nevertheless, you know, the Israelites gonna be saved and set up after all of this. All right, let me read 2 more verses. It says, verse 37, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. Right. So look, bro, your space program, your Star Wars program, that's just a waste of your time and your money, bro. You could have spent that shit at the strip club. You know what I'm saying? Doing whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Doing whatever, man. That was just a waste of money. You should have just, you know what I'm saying? Not even put up no damn fight. You'd be like, yo, I know my judgment, and let me just go ahead and not try to prolong it. But hey, Yahushua gonna put that, he already put that spirit on you to draw your ass out there. All right. The deceived and the deceived. Hey, the Most High own your ass. You caught in your own snare. You don't even realize the part of your heart has deceived you. You think with your own might and your own way that you're going to sit here and take down Yahushua. You the mightiest of the almighty. Bruh, you finna get donezo. All right. It says verse 38, and they shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented. Okay. Which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto me. Okay, and it says again, verse 38, and they shall lay before them their evil thoughts. And that's why we put up these here videos right here, right now. Because we know Esau watching, man. We know about that shit, man. But we telling him to his face, like, bro, you wasting your time, homie. You wasting your time. You just making it harder on yourself. You might as well just go ahead and lay the fuck down. But we know the pride of your heart has deceived you, and you're going to try to fight the Lord anyway, because it's written. Even if you don't want to fight the Lord, because you're going to be afraid. Even if you don't want to fight the Lord, he's going to put that spirit on your ass anyway. Just like he did Pharaoh. Pharaoh would have let the Israelites go off the first time. He said, let my people go. They're like, all right, no problem. But what the Most High said, he said, I will harden Pharaoh's heart. All right. And he's not going to let the people go off rip, you know, but it's the same way. He's like, yo, like he said about Pharaoh, like, what if I raise Pharaoh up just to break his ass to show the people my power? Same with these damn Edomites. The Most High got the spirit on these damn Edomites to keep building up their shit and want to go in the space to try to fight with Yahushua so he can have some competition. The scriptures say, the Lord is a man of war. All right. And Yahushua was like, yo, if this was my kingdom, don't you know that I could pray to the Most High and he could send me, 12 legions of angels to come fight? You know what I'm saying? And Yahushua say, look, the day of vengeance is in my heart. You know, those that would not have that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. All right. They want a good fight. You know what I'm saying? At an instant, all they have to do is send one angel down here. All right. And just be like, yo, make it rain for 40 days and 40 nights and let not the earth soak up the water like they did the first time. One angel just off one commandment with just some rain. Everybody die. That's too fucking easy. All right. The Most High is, he want to see a show, man. The king of drama. He want to see the business. He like, yo, I'm going to put the spirit on y'all to create all these devastating ass weapons and all this crazy ass shit and all these robots and this and that. Just so the fight can be a little bit longer than what I would normally have it to be. You know what I'm saying? Because normally, like a Mike Tyson fight, yo, you get into the ring with Mike Tyson, man, your ass be lucky to make it to the second round, you know? But what? The Most High being like Mike Tyson, like, all right, you know what? I'm going to fuck with you for like, 20, 30 minutes or about 4 or 5 rounds, or pull Muhammad Ali. Yeah, I'm going to let you beat my ass in the corner for a little bit just to get a little showboat, because I know I can knock you out in the first round, but I'm going to let you sit here and get tired and work yourself out. And then when you get tired, I'm going to dance around your ass, make a fool of yourself, and then I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And then I'm going to still come out on top as the people's champ, because that's just what I do. I'm in control of all of this. But I'm going to let you do you for a minute. I'm going to let you finish and get your shit off, and then I'm going to just break your ass. All right? I ain't going to lose no sleep over this shit. Ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? So, Yahushua is, Yahushua is pretty much got these motherfuckers in a trick bag, They don't want setting them up for all this stuff, And really this whole Trump deal is it's nothing really to be, it's not no big news, nothing new, nothing like that. The only thing that's important with that is to show you the time that we in. Like, okay, now they publicly telling you about these chariots. They publicly telling you about that they trying to defend themselves against the shit. But like, okay, the next thing they gonna tell you is like, all right, the chariots will be here next Wednesday. We finna bang it out, you know? That should be, you know, the next couple stories is coming out. You know, they're gonna increase a little more, but then they're like, oh, we might have found some life, or we might have found a communication signal coming from outer space. We got to do this quicker, you know? But this is what they're conditioning your mind to be with, so to condition you to fight with Yahushua. They've already got everybody out here in a demonic state, you know, mind state right now, where everybody want to be fucking, these bitches all want to be whores and thoughts and shit. Niggas just want to be known for killing other niggas. They getting so-called famous for killing another nigga, just to kill another nigga to be famous. Niggas want to be rappers and shit. Like, all this wicked shit going on all over the goddamn place, you know? But, you know, nevertheless, you know, these are the things we need to be watching, you know, these prophecies, you know what I'm saying? So we know what time it is, that we almost up out of here. These are things that we need to be rejoicing in, you know? I was speaking to, you know, I got some, what do you call these people? Palestinian friends that work at this gas station around the corner from my house, you know? And I'll go chit chat with these people, you know, and in fact, they know we're the Israelites, you know? They know we're the Israelites and everything like that. So we kind of chit chat back and forth about certain things, about our people, their people, so on and so forth, you know? And, I was talking to one of the guys about, this here article I was reading about the space program, you know? He's like, yeah, but that's whatever. And I'm like, listen, bro, all that shit I was telling you about this motherfucker going down, cause they oppressed too, you know? Like, all this shit I was telling you about them going down, bro, it's coming true now, you know? I'm like, yo, but I want Donald Trump. I'm on Donald Trump's side now, yo. I want homie to get the space program going. Like, these niggas ain't building this shit for nothing. They preparing to fight fucking with, you know, I had to speak to them in a certain terms, like, yo, they so-called prepared to fight so-called aliens. Like, what do you think them aliens are? That's the Lord coming back to put these damn devils down. Like, yo, so the quicker they get this space program ready, we ready for this shit, you know? And like the scriptures say, rejoice, O ye daughters of Zion. When we see shit like this in the news, man, this type of shit is supposed to make us rejoice and party. Like, yo, fuck yeah, Trump trying to make a space program to fight so-called aliens and shit like that. Fuck yeah, let's go party. That mean Yahushua around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't get up and get your bus money ready or your bus ticket ready unless the bus is rolling up to the bus stop, you know? Just like in Matthew 24 about the parable of the fig trees and stuff like that, you know? Let me close out with that, matter of fact. Because I think they even speak about what we're reading about right here. Let's start at 1 or 3. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, Matthew 24:3, as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming in the end of the world? And Yahushua answered them and said, take heed no man deceive you. Let me go on. The wars and rumors of wars, so on and so forth. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Like I said, people going out killing folk just for some so-called clout, so on and so forth. But the one I wanted to get, verse 21, for there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor shall ever be. Okay. You know, these are all talking about World War III, nuclear warfare, and all these types of things, you know, and the chariots coming. All right. Boom, right here. This is where I want to be. Verse 27, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. All right. So you're going to come from the east first, all the way over to the west. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, like that bird of prey coming to eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, where the body's at? Let's go basically in the Middle East, you know, the, Harmagagwan or Jehoshaphat, Yahushaphat. All right. Verse 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay, so at this point in time, these nukes still went off. Okay, and the sun not giving its light because why? You got what they call a nuclear winter. You know, you got all this smoke covering the earth. You know, sunlight can't really come in. All right, And it says, verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. What is the sign of the Son of Man in heaven? All right, that's these chariots coming. That's when you start seeing these ships coming. You know what I'm saying? And then shall the tribes of the earth mourn when they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. When they see these damn chariots and these UFOs, everybody they gonna mourn, just like in the War of the Worlds or Independence Day. Once they realized they was getting attacked, everybody was like, yo, what the fuck, man? They weren't worried about they J's, they cars, they bitches, going to work. They weren't worried about none of that shit. They was just like, yo, man, the fuck is going on? Aliens, bro. You know what I'm saying? Then they gonna be trying to figure out what's going on. But they gonna already be in the midst of World War III. But on top of World War III, bro, aliens, alien invasion, woe is me. So, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, pray that you're on the right side. But those that don't understand this and don't want to take heed to this and all this, just imagine the ones that lived through all of this, all the way up to the chariots. Imagine how much shit they gonna be going through, bugging the fuck out, getting invaded. You know, they dwelling safely in America. Well, we ain't gonna never get invaded. We the world's greatest military. To getting invaded, to race wars, martial law, all kind of crazy shit, thermonuclear warfare. And if you survive that shit, famine and all that shit, damn, UFOs, this shit on top of this shit, really? You know what I'm saying? It says, and he shall, verse 31, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of the trumpet, just like in the War of the Worlds. Okay, and at the end of that movie, you realize that thing wasn't necessarily just zapping people. It was actually harvesting up certain people. It was gathering up certain people, all right? And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Okay, now learn the parable of the fig tree. When the branch is yet tender, he putteth forth his leaves. You know, summer is nigh. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all things be fulfilled. Okay, so you know, basically it's like with the fig tree deal. It's like a sign. You know, when you driving in your car and you see that gas light come on, what is that telling you? You need gas. Time to get gas. When you start seeing all these signs that you know, just spoken about in Matthew 24, but basically we're going into this here lesson. You know, all the other scriptures are put in the lesson. Then you know. Because like here it says, like, look, after all that tribulation, after the nukes go off, then you're going to see these chariots, you know what I'm saying, all this shit coming in. That's when it's going to be. But Esau's already preparing to fight with the chariots. So he's got to get his shit together before they even appear. So that's how you know that. And with the nuclear weapons and all that advancing and everything, you already know that at any point in time, yo, World War III pop off, you know. They're going to have to implement the RFID chip, you know, the mark of the beast. So you got these three prophecies, you know, pretty much sitting right here at the door, you know, is ready to go. All right. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. Stay strong. Shalom.